What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. If you have missed the chain link of events that led up to this moment of these mega pack rumors from a very reputable seller who posted stuff on eBay and then took it down, because if you're the person leaking things, Konami can kind of slap you on the wrist. You weren't supposed to let those out, and with that, like I said, somebody's gonna mess up and give us the leaks. That seems to be happening with tons of EU vendors getting their physical cases in yesterday, and heading towards today, we do see that happening. So I had a favor to ask the community. Whoever leaks the 2021 MEGATINs, can they not be in 140p, finding Bigfoot style quality? And people were quick to point out, well, that's a tradition in the community. You're asking way too much. And apparently I was, because we got no pictures at all, leaving the entire community very skeptical on these. But I've asked multiple of my connections and also been DM'd by others that yes, this vendor seems very legitimate. He's had a long history of being legit, and so he probably just messed up and put the listings up early as a pre-seller. So here is Reddit doing some detective work on, yes, a reputable eBay seller in the UK uploaded individual cards from the MEGATINs and has since been taking them down. From the listings, I managed to list all cards they said and filled in the gaps between them with originals. So basically, we have a lot of speculation here and some cards missing. Like if we had a milk carton, where is this child? Accesscode Talker would be on that list because it's currently not in the TINS, and you have everyone, oh, Accesscode Talker is gonna miss. Konami's gonna take it away to the moon. And I'm just sitting there like, if it actually missed the TINS, you know who else missed the TINS? There was a guy called Masterpiece in Yu-Gi-Oh! He missed the TINS and ended up on a Forbidden and Limited list with no reprint. So if you think Accesscode Talker is missing, Konami may actually have that plan, but I would think they would plan to resell him, give everybody a chance with him for a bit. I don't think he'll be missing the TINS. Also, the talk of the day, Crossout Designator is the final card in this leak list. It also was named Crossout Designator, which people on Reddit find kind of concerning. Like, would they really keep the same name? I don't blame you. Like, Crystalline Needle Fiber into Halki Fibrax. It would be a little weird, but Designator and Crossout's already on Nobleman of Crossout, so I would think they could keep that Crossout part of the name, but maybe it would be Designated Crossout in the TCG. So I do get you on being a little concerned of the name staying that way in the community, but I wouldn't be too shocked if it was. I wouldn't find that speculation if it's listed and in here, but do take it with a grain of salt. We have 0 pictures of these even in 140p. We're waiting to find out, and let's go through this Reddit detective work over here and kind of go through what they have done. So when we see this list as a whole, there's the twists and turns, and we do see that, well, there's missing spaces, and then what could be in those missing spaces. And right now, we're missing a couple of cards. I'll bring this one back up because right now we're missing Lightning Storm, but it's still possible in those gaps. We're missing Forbidden Droplet as well, but it could be in those gaps. And I think Chamber Dragon Maid isn't actually in the foreseen gaps here, but I remember Reddit detectives trying to say Zeus wouldn't be in the TINS as well before, but by set numbers, I don't believe when we look up Dragon Maid that we only get, yeah, that's not Chamber there, and the other card, Tidying, did make the TINS. It would be weird for Chamber to be missing, but she's already announced reprint in another set. I wouldn't discount her even by this. And we see right here, Droplet could be this missing card, but it could be 2 other cards, like a Gaia theme card and that kind of stuff. So it could be one of any of these in these slots by how these people are breaking down the set list, the set numbers, and that sort of thing. But what is confirmed from these listings, should they be real, is Nadir Servant, which I know a lot of people were thinking would somehow miss the TINS. That was kind of a weird one. We see Ice Dragon's Prison also in the reprint slots. We see Shadol's Schism, which banlist speculators may be mad to see that one reprinted. And then we also see Girsu the Orcus Mech Knight, which was the biggest 5-head call to miss the TINS. But yeah, people were in my stream going, Orcus missed the TINS before. You have a Mech Knight Link missing the TINS before. Girsu's an Orcus and a Mech Knight could be together. I started to kind of crunch on that Kool-Aid and be like, you know what? This is the first theory I respect on missing the TINS. He is confirmed on this list. So that is interesting. Also, Adamancipator Researcher gets confirmed. We saw saw Raptite was early on, the little egg version, in the common leaks telling us Secret Slayers would be in here, but every single TINS has its twists and turns that break the rules of previous years, and we actually, I think, have a Drytron that already has a holo upgrade and the Shadol structure deck towards the bottom of this list. So this would be the first time structure decks actually make the TINS, which makes sense. Every single MEGATINS has had a twist, a turn, not a major crazy one, but structures actually getting reprinted. We see Reshadol Windy, we see Ariel, we see App Cologne. These are pretty cool. And then we have a missing slot. This could be anything. And then we have Yuria, Haman, and Raviel for that other structure deck, but then also Drytron Zeta randomly with a 5-set gap within this list that could be quote unquote everything. If there's one Drytron, I would think there'd be more. It's super weird to see a Genesis Impact card in here considering that was December of 2020, but we don't see any Golden Lord stuff, which a lot of people have speculated would be in El Dorado, so that kind of lines up with a thought of how things would go if they were only going to do the Adamancipator here and do the Cursed Eldritch stuff somewhere else. That's lining up with Gold Series, isn't it? So it seems like they're trying to do this thing where they intertwine, interconnect these sets through being based around each other or within each other, and that's kind of cool. But seeing Drytrons is kind of weird. And then there's like, well, we could have, you know, maybe Rikas, we could have maybe more Drytrons, we could maybe have even Live Twins. It's super weird to see that one Drytron card that already had a holo upgrade with inclusion in the TINS at 240 being reported. So, a lot of eyebrows raised, a lot of people wondering what's going on with these, and with all these being pre-sales without pictures, I understand the speculation, and I usually don't report on rumors unless they're too big to ignore, or they seem from a very legitimate source, and this is a combination of both. It seems like a legitimate source, and it also seems to be, well, we got some crazy stuff mixed up in here. I don't think he'd be messing with his own eBay account with false information, but I also think he probably woke up thinking somebody else would have spoiled it, started putting things up, and realized he was the source of the leaks and started taking them down rather quickly. I don't think it's a troll, but we will wait and see. Take it with a pinch of salt. And also with what's missing, a lot of it can be included even by this math. And when you have almost full set list, but it feels like more so almost half of the things are actually missing. I would say it's like a half a set list. I haven't done the exact math. Sorry, Reddit. But yeah, Jeff Feet Barrage, thank you for all of this work. Thank you for doing the spreadsheet. Thank you for the information. And this helps a freaking lot with the speculation heading forward. I wouldn't rush out and buy cards, just a note. We see people scrambling for Accesscode Talkers right now. Look at this. There's like almost as many sales as the past 4 days combined. So kind of calm down. It could still be in there. There's so many people running with their heads cut off saying access code won't be in the TINS now, when it's literally in the possibilities of this list, and we don't know how many TINS this guy got to or how many listings he put up before somebody tapped him on the shoulder. It's like, yo, bro, you're leaking everything. You might not want to be doing that. So do take that into consideration too. But what do you think of the huge twist being multiple side sets and structure decks? I actually like this approach for structure decks. You can give some upgrades while also not having to just re-wave an unlimited structure deck out there that will sit on shop shelves for a while because only interested people who didn't get the first round would go. Yeah, the Shadol Showdown structure deck has a lot of value sealed. So like, people would want a re-wave in a sense, and it did get one in, I think, South America only. It was really weird, but we do see a huge demand for the cards in here, and reprinting those in-demand cards is kind of a cooler take and approach than just, you know, reprinting the structure deck. It's actually something I like to see from Konami with this inclusion, and a lot of people wondering, waiting how it'll turn out. I think it's legit, but again, could be just rumors. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing around here if you haven't? I really would appreciate it if you stick around. Like the video if you enjoyed the conversation. And do you find these to be real? What do you think will continue to miss? As a lot of the up in the air cards are ones we were speculating. Will it make it? Won't it make it? Well, last year, you know, Extrav was in Toon Chaos, still made the TINS. Apollosa was set for Gold Series, still made the TINS. it'll be interesting to see how Konami kind of paces these out, because the next sets for the Megatins, let's be very real, we have Blazing Dumpster Fire, Lightning Underdrive, we've got Dawn of Majesty / Yawn of Majesty, and then Burst of Destiny really came in clutch for the end for next year's TINS, but those are the 4 sets. Battle of Chaos is the first one for the 2023 TINS, and, you know, when it comes down to this, they probably need to sell these reprints a couple more times. Will we get the kitchen sink? Won't we? It'll be definitely interesting to see how it is spread around with Brothers of Legend and Gold series, but I wouldn't count access code out just yet and be running and buying it, even with my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying.